Hey everyone, Mason here. This is episode 2 of my City Skylines series. The city doesn't have a name quite yet. I'm not very good with that sort of thing. Perhaps maybe you guys can help me with that. There's been a lot of changes since we've spoken last, so let's go through and take a look at them. I know you're supposed to save the best for last, but there's something that I would really like to show you. Let's go take a look. Right over here is a traffic engineering marvel that I worked very hard to create. It's possibly some of the best traffic engineering in the history of traffic engineering. Prepare yourself for this masterpiece. Behold the solid door dolly roundabout of doom. Things have changed quite a bit in this area since we last spoke. I don't know if you'll remember or not, but this entire interchange is new. The farm is over here. It's way bigger now. And these are the two neighborhoods we focused on in the last video. There used to be a high school here. I think it was a high school. I moved the buildings over here. There's a high school. And there's a waste transfer. That's a new. And there's an elementary school. That might have been there as well. If I remember, I'll put a picture on screen, but the two highways were here, and there was a U-shaped road with the schools on them, and that went over and connected over here. Everything's been changed up, as you can see, as I expanded over here. This one entrance was not able to keep up with the demands of this area, so I added another one over here. It started out as just the interstate with a roundabout on top, and it had a ramp going down, a ramp going up, a ramp going down, a ramp going up, a ramp going down, and then it connected over here. But I found that wasn't doing it. I had a second roundabout over here connecting these areas, and I eventually combined the roundabout that was over top of the intersection with the one over here to make this weird floppy squiggly roundabout. And to help give the farm an advantage, I added this little road over here that goes directly over to the farm, where I built a new roundabout. You can never have too many roundabouts. But you might be wondering about the name. Where did it come from? The way the roundabout has kind of a round shape, and this one is not perfect. You can see it's three-dimensional. It's going quite a steep hill there for the cars to go up. The roundabout kind of flops off of the interstate and jiggles around this way. The way it's shaped reminded me of Salvador Dali's his painting of the floppy clocks. So that's how I decided to name this roundabout. And it's of doom because, I mean, seriously, look at the thing. Do you want to try and navigate this spaghetti mess? I know that I don't. The farm is significantly bigger in size. It was just this little area before. It's expanded. I'm gonna need to put some more housing down because I'm struggling to keep my farms staffed. I added these two train hubs, I believe, as well, since the last time we spoke. And they seem to be working well. Ignore that, whatever's happening there. I have no idea what's going on. The farm has been kind of a traffic nightmare. This road over here has been upgraded substantially. It's up to 4 lanes now. I believe I used to have dirt roads throughout the farm at some point. I could be mistaken, but that road got really big. There's a connection over here now onto the interstate. There's a country road going from here to here around back, and it's connected over here right next to my solar farm, and this is a water treatment center. This was an industrial area always. I've had a bunch of stuff in here, which I've slowly been moving some of it away. You can see a lot of my water treatments are not running right now because I don't have the demand. I built some cleaner ones, and I've been shutting these down. But you also notice all of the incinerators are gone. So I moved my city's waste treatment out over to, or the solid waste out over to here, where I have these two big waste processing complexes, and in various places throughout the city there are some waste transfer stations. It seems to be working well. I haven't tried this before, but it's been successful. That's good. I added a bunch of trees in here because this neighborhood was complaining about noise. I freehanded this trumpet interchange to build it. There's a lot of traffic on this interstate building up. I don't know why, but everyone over here is trying to merge into this one lane. And it makes no sense because there's 3 lanes all the way out of the city. So if we have a look at this road and where everyone's going, there are some private vehicles coming through here. There's really not much I can do about that. But if I ignore the private vehicles and look at the trucks, you'll see that a lot of them are coming from this area back here. So I think that if I expand my rail network and put another cargo hub somewhere back in here, that might help alleviate the cloggage on this road. I'll maybe tie it into this major road right here. I've been thinking about building another entrance to this big area back here from the interstate. Maybe put an interchange in here somewhere, bring the road back, and somewhere around here. So I've got a couple unique buildings back here. I wasn't sure what to do with this space, so I put them down. The Steam Winter Sale is happening, so I picked up some more DLC. I have the campus DLC now, so I might get rid of this and have a stadium on a college campus later. But for now, I've got these 2 unique buildings. I might put some more in there. This is an area of potential development. There's a big hill right back here, so there's not much space to fit in everything I want. The cargo hub and the interstate exit. So I might have to unfortunately demolish some buildings or rearrange. It makes me a little sad to see things getting changed up that I worked so hard on, but that's how real cities are, so it's something I guess I just gotta accept. But I want to do something with this hill. I don't know what to do about the steepness, because it's definitely flat enough on the top that I can use it, but this edge is gonna be a problem. I might see if I can do something with the cable cars, if I can take those up the hill and connect it down here somewhere. That might be a good plan. This area is going to be a little noisy, but thankfully there is not any residential that close to it. Over here is the nearest residential. As you could see when we started, I've done a little bit with public transit since we last spoke. I've got this little bus drop off here, and there's another one earlier in this region over here. I don't plan ahead very well. Looking back, there's a lot of people wanting to cross this road from the residential over to the shopping area, and this being a kind of busy road that gets clogged up. If too many people are crossing, the cars get held up and it causes this to jam up, and then goods don't get delivered on time. So I had the idea that maybe I could use a trolley and make a little loop going from this neighborhood over to this area so that they don't have to cross the road. But I realize now that you have to use a different road for the trolleys, and that would be a major change because none of these entrances from this side and the entrances from this side, none of them line up. So I'd have to come up with something. These two could probably be made into a pair, and it'd need to go back over somewhere over here. That's something I have to think about. All of these neighborhoods over here are all connected with an underground metro. I forget where you go to look at that. Is it here? It's here, yes. So I've got an underground metro connecting this residential with this residential with this, I think it's residential, and then over to the hub and the shopping area. I've got a couple different bus routes going as well. I have one that just goes from the neighborhoods over to the farm, and some that connect to the shopping and residential areas. And then the others go from, they have a couple stops in the neighborhood, and they go back to the bus depot. I've been trying to arrange my transit in a way so that transferring from one system to the other is a easy task, as easy as possible. Over here you'll see I've got a subway station with buses nearby. I tried to do the same over here with the subway station and buses nearby. And over here I've got a subway station, and I thought I had buses around here. Right there is a bus stop. I don't see one from this purple line, but I've tried to connect it up as well as I could. This station I was thinking would also serve the stadium, but I haven't seen very many people walk from here over to there. It's mostly just people going into the shopping center who take this. Maybe I have to wait for a match day and really see how many people come through here. But I believe there's also a bus stop I put right there. I mentioned earlier that there was a lot of, in my previous episode I mentioned that there was a lot of noise in this neighborhood, and there still is a lot of noise, but I've gotten rid of some of it. I've been looking out for chirper messages for when someone complained, and I've been going in and looking at their house, and I've been changing the zoning around it to make it work, or I've either demolished houses. In the case of this subway, the houses here were complaining, so I tore them down, popped in a bunch of trees, and put this parking lot in here, which they're fine with. I placed in some fishing stuff on the edge of this neighborhood. I've got a couple piers and some farms, and I've got a fish market and a fish factory. A little bit of parking too. A lot of parking too. It seems to be working well. It's making me money, which is good. I think if I check here, it'll show me how much. Yeah, I'm not making a lot, but I am making some money. I might need to look into that a little more and see if I can improve it. I recently got the Industries DLC, and I'm not sure exactly how to use that yet. I've never tried using it. I was worried about the water pollution in this area in an earlier episode, and I was talking about putting a waste treatment center over here, a waste treatment plant. I thought that would push the pollution away because a drain pipe, is what caused it. And I know that the pollution from this is less bad than the pollution from this. In real life, a lot of our water treatment centers are outputting water that is actually cleaner than the water than the body of water it's pouring into. So I thought that if I put this here, it would make the area cleaner. It didn't. It just made it dirtier. The answer was to just ignore it, and it eventually goes away with time. Something else I got wrong in that video is I thought that educated workers wouldn't work at the farm, which just isn't true. The reason for my thinking was that if you click on one of these buildings, you'll see that it says it needs 8 uneducated workers and it says it needs 0 of everything else. I thought that it would only be able to employ people that are uneducated because that's the only category it says it needs. I didn't realize people would work down, which they will, and you can have overeducated workers. So I might need to look at my education system and maybe get some of these categories up, because I believe education is one of the things that people like and will make their buildings upgrade quicker. That's about all I can think of for this episode. While I'm gone, I'm going to be working on the new connections back here, as well as playing around with the new DLC I've got. I need to put in some taxis and do some industry stuff, and I even got the parks DLC, so I can make an amusement park somewhere, or a zoo, or just a regular park. So I'll have some fun messing around with that. Anyways, it's getting late. It's 1:12 a.m. right now. I need to go to bed. I have to wake up at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So that's about all I have for you right now. I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thank you, and see you in the next one.